Okay. We good? Oh my god. Wow. What a whole bunch of stuff. We got a beautiful charger that we're going to be tinting. Everything with the windshield, start to finish. We're doing 20 on all the sides and the rear, and we're going to do 50 on the windshield. Felt seals. Charger is one of those cars I used to get a ton of questions about. They're honestly not crazy difficult, but for a long time this was I'd say the most difficult average car. You know, and just like volume of what shops would get. This was definitely up there. Come on, little piece of tape. There we go. So we have felt seals on this. And I'm going to just wiggle some pieces of tape. Those are going to go into the seals and completely mask off any felt that's going to get into my work. Do you tape off the back quarter glass? I have done windshields, but generally no. More taping is not going to be harmful in any way. If anything, it's going to help. It's going to, well, it's going to hurt your time. So the amount of time that you got to spend taping everything off versus like what result do you actually get on it? What are all these white specks? That's fun. We'll take care of that. So especially in today's world of gel products, I'd say it's even less necessary to do that kind of stuff with. When you install a windshield or a back window, you just don't want to touch anything. But then you got to consider the cleaning too. So like when you clean a window, you squeegee it off, that runoff carries dirt. Not everybody thinks about that. So you want to make sure that that doesn't, you know, what you just masked off, then wipe off everywhere that you just taped, and then water can always make it harder for tapes and stuff to stick. So you want to make sure you use a good one. Okay, let's lift this. Sorry, I'm a little bit distracted. I just made a huge amount of stream changes and updates, and so now this is the proving ground. Is it gonna work? What bugs am I gonna run into? All that fun stuff. Looks like things are connected. I think. Yeah. Looks like some of it's connected. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. I'll revisit in a little bit. And double check. Yeah, let's wipe it off. Pop that hood, homie. Let's go. I can't. There's locks on it. I'm stuck. I can't get in there. All right. I got a couple rolls here. We're going to get started. 20% C2 ceramic is going on the doors. What plotter do you use? I have a Graph Tech over there. FC 9000. I generally will hand cut all the doors and then might plotter cut quarter windows or back window. Today we're just going to hand cut everything. Including the windshield. We're not plotter cutting anything today. All right, we're going to take 2 pieces of film. We're going to lock those together. We're going to grab our safety cutter and zip that off. Now we're going to start trimming the rest of it. I want to make sure I have a nice sharp blade. Start with the bottom here. Trim that. Come all the way over. These bottom doors have a little bit of a curve to them. Nothing crazy, but it does go up a little bit. Make sure we have enough wiggle room on this side. Good. Trim this. And we're going to slide it over. Give us some space. Go back over here. And we're going to trim this side. Drag it back. I got a little overlap on both sides. So we're going to drag this down. Perfect. That's what's going to get tucked into the seal. Let's lock this in place. So now we can roll it down, cut the top edge of the window. Perfect. Looks good. Where's my nearest trash can? And you have the tint on the inside of the window? Why would we do that? Tint on the inside. That's crazy. Windows always get water stuck, making it hard to see at night when it's raining. What can I do to avoid that? You could ceramic coat your windows. That can help. Knife swap. So the reason for 2 different knives is a stainless one is for the majority of the cutting. Stainless is safer to use on glass. Way less risk of scratching. Carbon, the black blade, is extra thin, so it's really sharp and really good for cutting a top edge. You can do both with the stainless. I just find this knife in particular, plastic, you can just push the tint all the way up against the top of the window, and then that blade does a really good job of not snagging as you're making that cut. If you use a metal knife and push too hard, you can indent the film a little bit. So, especially nice to use when you're new. But I use the stainless for everything. I just really like this upgrade. Where do you get the cabinets? Those are new age cabinets. Tintbot, can you link the top edge knife? The blades are by NT Cutter. BA54P. And then these are the stainless ones that we use, BA50SS. I've never seen somebody tint from the outside. You've never seen somebody tint before. Tintbot, can you link the top edge knife in chat? We'll see if it does. I don't think Bro knows tint. Probably not. I'm new here. Everybody asks, why is it on the outside? It's the first time that you've ever seen it. But it is funny how many times we get asked about it. We're going to shift that back over. Bring it down just a little bit. We don't have to drop it too far down on a charger. Seals are pretty matched up, and they're definitely a little tighter. Not bad, but they match up pretty close. We're going to roll that down. We're going to grab a top edge knife. You're going to scrub the back window with steel wool. No, I hate steel wool. We have a clay bar, and when we install it, we're going to install it with the defrosters on, which is the #1 tip for keeping those defrosters nice and smooth. Chargers, Challengers, Mustangs, 300s. They have thicker defroster lines. So a lot of people, and I didn't understand this for a number of years, a lot of people have really bad shrinking technique. It's you press the film down earlier than it should. It'll still stay. So it's like within margin. But you've compressed quite a bit of film together. So a symptom of it not being shrunk quite enough is when air feeds back in, it causes shrink pockets to really swell up. So the smoother and more evenly you can shrink the film, the better it's going to lay down. I've been doing outside for 20 years. My guy. There's a market for everything. Hell yeah. Same here. Yeah, 2 patterns, 1 cut. Just goes faster that way. We're also going to shrink all these patterns. Might as well. And then we'll go around and install each one of them. So I got 4 patterns. We're going to snap shrink each one of them to save a little bit of time. We're going to lift it off the bottom edge. Keep the heat gun. I have it about 3 or 4 inches away, and I'm just watching how this curls and adjusting both the speed and the distance based on that. If I have some little fingers at the bottom, that just means it needs to get shrunk a little bit more. Top of the line tint, it's going to be like a multi-ceramic. Multi-layer ceramic. So yeah, you can shrink your doors really quickly. There you go. That's all shrunk. Why are there gaps? Why is it on the outside? You idiot. Perfect. Hang on. If you thought it was fun before, all your questions will be answered now. Oh no! That's never happened before, actually. Gonna cover this door panel. Beautiful. Tintbot, can you tell chat where they can get the door covers from? I'm gonna cut this part off anyways. What? That's not the right product. That's the wrong product. Those are the top edge blades. So if you're wondering about the blades, those are the blades. Tintbot, can you link the door panel covers in chat, please? Oh my god, it did it! Holy shit. Amazing. That what? Skynet's a good name for it. All right, we are going to install just cleaning off the rest of this. Any miscellaneous stickies, specks. Want to loosen that all up first. So you can see all the little scrape marks. Sorry, not scrape marks. I don't want to call it that. Water smears. So we loosened up the dirt, but we didn't remove it yet. See, ooh, look at that. Look at how dirty that top edge is. Want to wipe off the rest of the window here. And then since we loosened all the dirt, now we can sweep it or squeegee it. And that's going to take everything and move it over. Next, we're going to grab a tri-edge card. Sweep those edges. I'm going to sweep this window off one more time. Just to be thorough. And again, swipe that. Swipe that. Then we're going to take some OptiGlide. It doesn't matter the order I do this. I can rinse it and then I can spray. The gel's going to help keep the dirt along with the tape back. Just an extra measure. It's going to help with the film sliding a little bit more too. We're going to peel this halfway because we are two-staging this one. Lift that up. And place the long edge on the window first. Then I'm going to curl this. And we're going to slide it into our seal. We're going to go to this side, flatten out that front edge, tuck that into the front edge as well. And then we want to shimmy, shimmy, make sure this is as centered and close to that top edge as possible. I did. I tricked everybody in chat. I wanted to make sure that everybody thought that it was installed on the outside first, and then put it on the inside. Or that's just how it's always done. And I've made countless videos. It's okay. It'll happen on the next stream. And the next one. And the next one. How many cars have you tinted? I don't know. I've been tinting since 2008. I stopped trying to count years, and that's when I know I started. Summer of housing market crash. Cool. That looks good. I like it. Oh, that's on the outside. That's why. Now we're gonna roll up the window. Right, like so. And we gotta take care of this bottom half. We're gonna rinse whatever came up with that seal down. We're gonna make sure that adhesive is wet. And now we're gonna tuck in our film. Pull back that seal a little bit, tuck one corner, jump to this side, tuck the other corner. Does your dad still have his shop? He does. Auto Tint City out in Dearborn Heights. Now that we got that tucked in there, sweep down the rest of this. My tint's getting done right now. What a coincidence. That algorithm can be real strong. We're going to peel this. See how tight that is? I literally ripped the tape. Trying to pull that out of there. And same thing for these seals. I'll push that back. How do you keep water out of the door panel? The door, inside of the door does get wet, but it's on the good side, the side that can get wet. Because your door is not perfectly sealed. So you have a plastic barrier on this side. So like in front of this, and then the window rolls down here. So when it rains, there's going to be little gaps. Water's still going to run in. They're not super big on this one. But then they go out weep holes on the bottom. Drain holes, weep holes. All right, and we're gonna jump right into this door. It's cut, it's shrunk, it's ready to install. All 4 doors have patterns. 3 left to go. Then we're gonna do the back window. And then last, we're gonna be tinting the full windshield. Would it be better to remove the window? It's a way. Some people remove door panels. Some people will remove windows entirely. It's pretty rare in one select country that I know of. I just like to not take anything apart I don't have to. So if I can leave all the clips the same, if I can leave all the seals the same, why not do it? Yes, there are more steps in installation, but if at the end of the day, the end result is the same, it's just a different way of doing the exact same thing. So we're going to blade this window. Just remove the engine. Why stop at the doors? Just remove everything. All right, so that's all scraped. The little green squeegee. Which one? I got so many. Is it this one? Tintbot, can you link the Pros Blade Wax teal version in chat, please? We'll see if it'll do it. My confidence is still really low in this system, but we'll see. All right, so now we are going to install this window. I've just cleaned it. I'm going to spray it and hit it with some gel. Now we're ready to install. Spray that. I don't think it linked it. Rude. Tintbot, can you link the Pros Blade Wax in chat? So we're going to start with tucking this in one side. And then we're going to tuck this in the other one. Oh, that was the orange one. I didn't do the teal one. Well, we'll get it on the next one. So you gotta be specific. Got that. We're gonna start lightly squeegeeing off the top with that orange one, actually. Squeegee that side. Then we're going to squeegee this side. Beautiful. And our car is off. Fun thing about the chargers is you can't hold the button. You can just put it in ignition mode. And then you got about 20 minutes before it's going to shut off. Polarized film? Not really. I have 6 feet of actual polarized film. It was never produced. And I haven't put it on anything, but I do have it. Tuck in this side. Pull back this corner. Tuck in this side. Slippery. Slippery with that gel, that's for sure. There we go. I didn't even pull this one down very far. It still feels like I'm tucking it farther than I need to. We're going to take a card. There we go. Sweep. 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 Bad job, bro. They got me. They got me. Let's wrap it up. Let's close it down. It's a bad job, bro. The goat. The bad goat, bro. Probably. Said somebody in chat. Bad job, bro. Really? Okay. If you say so. Oh, oh, oh! Found an air pocket. Right up there. Okay, so while we're here on the quarter window, we might as well tint these too. We're not going to get enough film off the back glass. Oh, it's just the other side. I can't make anybody happy. You know, heaven forbid, the guy working on the thing at the moment you're criticizing it is maybe not done yet. Maybe, just maybe there's more work to be done. Nope, shit, he put it on the outside. Fucking get out of here. Leave. We're done. We suck. Where's my little baby quarter? Okay, so a fun tip about these quarter windows that I got years ago is, let's take this back off. You have this border here, but if you cut it just outside this border, you still create a little gap. Reason being is on the inside, this is offset. So the tint actually wants to go farther in this way, like in towards that seal. And then that leaves a little gap here, or potentially leaves a little gap up top. I've hand cut a whole bunch of these. And the tip that I got that helped speed them up the most for me is I'd sit there and I'd just trim that out, and then I'd line it up. And like, it's not quite the right size. And I'd widen something on this, but I'd be guessing every time. You can actually follow the very outside. So we have this flat edge right there. That doesn't matter. But the rest of this, we're going to follow all the way around, which I would have thought this would just make the pattern way too wide. But in fact, when we line this up now, this edge lines up perfectly. I have a little bit of overlap here, and then this tucks down into the bottom. It's like perfect every time. No, just for the chargers. I wish for every car. But unfortunately, it's just on these. I'm going to trigger some people. I'm going to shrink it just a little bit. Just a little bit. Sue me. Get out. All right, so we have everything that we need to finish this window. We have our film. We have a towel. We have a door cover. We have our baby squeegee. Shrinking is just to make sure we don't have any fingers that pop up on the inside. Okay, so we're gonna peel this. And then we got enough here to actually tuck in just a bit to that seal. That goes down, and then we can lift up, and oh my God, it fucking fits. Amazing. Actually amazing. I can't tell you how many of these, this little edge here gets even closer than it has now. And then I have a variable amount of space on this back edge. So I'm not saying these are hard to hand cut, but they're the only window that I ever run into where I could trace on the outside the very edge of the cuttable area, and it makes it perfect every freaking time. Gel on the quarter glass is nice because of the edge. Because dirt can sit in there, and one little speck. It's to prevent that one little speck that's gonna stick there in the very top, hard to squeegee little freaking edge. And then it turns it from a very good, a PSA 9.5. And then it upgrades it to a PSA 10 Platinum Plus Super Duper. But we can critique it. We can look it over. Damn! That shit looks good! Because up here, it'd be like, you know, just a little baby speck or something. I don't see it. I don't see it. We did good. Let's pack it up. Let's go to the other side. Alternative to Tri-Edge. There's nothing that's like Tri-Edge. Tri-Edge cards are super good. There is one alternative card that I carry and I like, and that is these. These are really glossy and very sharp. The Easy Reach corner cards, but they scuff up really easily. These last far longer. Tintbot, can you link the Easy Reach cards in chat? That's the wax blade. Why didn't it do that? That was completely wrong. Tintbot, link the easy reach cards in chat. Presto. I don't know what's wrong with it. I've been troubleshooting it for the past couple days, and this is one of what should have been the easiest things to do, and it's been one of the most difficult. I rebuilt the entire streaming window. I have my own text-to-speech app. I have my own clipping app. Everything is connected, and it's beautiful. And then I'm trying to get it to just, like, display the right product. And then sometimes it doesn't do it. And sometimes it's just like, there's another one, right? Thanks. All right, let's do this side. Ooh, I gotta see if it's even done some clips. I'll check that next. Ding, 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 ding. All right, another one. Another one. Johnson's? I don't know anything about Johnson Film. I just know they were bought by Matico, so that means they're probably gonna change. Matico makes films. They wouldn't buy them and then nothing would change. That's always a meme. But Johnson was something I never really knew about their film, so I have no idea. Wow! Look at all that dirt. That's why you wipe off the top edge. Do you have sketches of all the makes and models on the cutting machine? Yeah, there's a database. But on this one, I hand cut everything. So in this car, I am the machine. Why do you run a razor blade on it first? To loosen and scrape anything that might be stuck. I find it does a better job than a scrub pad. Scrub pad's really for something different. So I have one. I have one right here, and it's fantastic. Tintbot, link the Scrub It Mini in chat, please. But I can't feel the glass with the scrub pad. And so if there's like a little adhesive or a speck, something crusty that is stuck, it doesn't mean you can't get it off with a scrub pad. It's just so hard to, or so easy to skip over it without really even noticing. And then you tint the window and then you see that and you're like, fuck. So a blade on the glass has always, for me, been a lot more thorough. All right, let's peel this pattern. Ooh, we placed that a little high. That's why it's curling back. If the tint doesn't have anything to cling to, it's going to want to curl off the surface. You see how that's over by like a ½ inch? It's a little bit higher than it should have been. So be careful, because that might have just like wanted to yank right off the window. Okay, now we need to GeoShield. We need to stop that. There we go. That was weird. I love when you take a film and you set it on the window and it immediately wants to just like, I'm stuck here. I'm completely anchored. And you're like, fuck you. No, you're not. Get that edge nice and close. That looks really good. Take your card. Right like that. Now we can roll up the window and work on the bottom. Rinse that down. Peel out our liner, throw that away. And we're gonna rinse and start tucking. See, that, you see how it's already like, I don't wanna move? What the fuck is it touching? Nothing. Always beware of the film that wants to just grab and just freeze. It's not fun when it does that. You want to make sure that it's ice skating. So you have to wiggle it, pick it back up just a bit, and just make sure that it's lightly touching. But I'd say I probably sprayed it enough. And we still got one of those that you gotta watch out for. What squeegee are you using now? I've been using the Tri-Edge wax blades a lot. They're my favorites. They replace the hybrid, they replace the Blue Max. If you like the hybrid, if you like the Blue Max, you will definitely like these blades. All I use are the hybrids. Yeah, Fusion's got a lot of squeegees, and they're very good. I used the hybrid for so long. It's definitely my favorite blade for a long time. Then they came back out with the Blue Max, and I liked it a lot. I was actually really surprised with it, but I learned something after these Tri-Edge blades came out. The hybrid, I knew this of the hybrid and the Blue Max. Same thing for the red line. They're casted squeegees, and with a casted squeegee, you can use different materials that you just can't get out of injection molding. And so an injection molded squeegee can look like you can model it better. Like this is a slab style squeegee blade. And an injection molded one, you can have some more unique contours and detail, and you can make them look super good. But they're all a little rubbery, and it's just material restrictions. I didn't know about that until way later. Ooh, let me go get something. I gotta change my battery before I forget, which I will definitely do this thing. This is helpful because I can put this anywhere. Okay, we're gonna perform open battery surgery. So we're gonna take this, we're gonna plug it into the camera. This is gonna be your temporary power supply. I'm gonna pop out your heart here. And then we're going to pop in a new battery, clip that, and then when I unplug, we're still alive. I'm basically a surgeon. Is a detailing shop a good business to invest in? Detailing is difficult. There's just so many. I've tinted at some very good ones, and there are definitely some premium, well-running detailing shops. It is very hard to get to that level. Everybody likes to see the businesses that exist now and then copy them. That's a lot harder than you might think. It's very labor intensive. It's hard to keep people. There's just a lot of reasons why it's hard to scale. Same thing with tinting. A competent tinter has a disagreement at the shop that they're tinting. Fuck it, they'll just go off on their own and cut out the middleman. So it's your responsibility to grow something that's like way more bigger than an individual and more desirable and more comfortable to work at. Other than that, you get a lot of people that just come in and out. Because they're going to start detailing, and then they're going to go to their phone, and then they're going to see somebody go, "You can start a detailing business." And they're like, "Fuck, dude, I'm detailing right now for $15 an hour. Oh, I'm just going to go start doing it myself. I'm already doing it." All right, we got one more door we're going to install now. I can hear little things that I'm bumping off this window. Hear that? Definitely something a bit crusty about this window. Tintbot, can you link the door panel cover in chat? This is Panel Guard. It's just a door panel cover. It's a very strong tape on some plastic sheeting. It's really good. Try it again. Tintbot, can you link the door panel covers in chat? Please. I'm gonna look. Is it gonna work? Gah! I don't know why it's so bad. Oops. Guess we didn't need that. There we go. Now we can see a little better. It's dropping things that I'm saying, and I don't know why, but I'll yell at it enough until it starts working right. Okay, so we're going to install this door window. We're going to start with this longer edge. I'm going to curl the tint in. We're going to tuck it into the side. Bippity boo. And we're going to come over to this edge that is overlapping, right? And we can't just jam it into the side. So we're gonna pull it back, flatten it out, and then jam it back into the seal. Then we're going to wiggle it around so we got our top edge nice and close without going over. That's all well and pretty, right? Everybody likes that. I like that. We're gonna take a soft squeegee, brush some of the water in the air. We're gonna take a harder squeegee, make sure we get some extra moisture out of it. We're gonna take a tri-edge card. We're gonna sweep the sides. Right, like so. That's all well and good. Now we're gonna roll up the window. We're gonna rinse underneath it. Pull out this liner. Wet the underside of the film. Start with one corner, pull back our seal. And we're gonna go to this corner, do the same thing. Pick up the center, and then pick a corner. We're just gonna pull back this tint, or the seal, and tuck this in. See, any one of these little bits that wants to come over, we tuck that down. Da-da-da-da. Then we're going to sweep this out. Sweep that out. Push a little harder. Just overlap. Any extra water that you can get out. You don't have to make 100 passes or anything, but any extra water that you can get out, you want to keep the pooling out of the water or out of the window. Because if you do that, it's going to dry out much faster. Right, like that. Pull out our tape. See those little black bits there? It's felt. That's one reason I really like tape. Oh, that's cool. After 25 years, I sold my 6-bay tint shop for good money. I have a small shop in my double garage because I can't stop tinting, only smaller. That's really cool. Why did you end up selling it? Well, obviously after 25 years, but was it just like, I'm assuming, a lot to run every day? Nice to take a payday and kind of chill out. That's where I'm at in life. That's why I move at a slower pace now. I just make it fun and easier. I'm not going for volume, high numbers. I'm going for perfection and taking my sweet friggin' time doing it. I've tinted for shops. I've had to go fast and still put out good work. And I just don't like running that fast all day. What type of tape is that? Seal Guard. Tintbot, can you link the Seal Guard in chat? All right, I got one more quarter window in case. Oh my God, it did it! Round of applause for Tintbot. All right, I'm gonna keep trimming around this window. So you see this border here. We did this on the other side. This is the only quarter window I know of that you can do this on. But you can follow that edge. It's quicker to cut, you don't need a light, and it lines up perfectly where it tucks in the bottom, tucks in the side a little bit, and it doesn't overlap anywhere that it shouldn't. It's super nice. I'm gonna shrink this one a little bit. I think is my heat gun on the other side? Oh, it is. Good, it's right over here. What? Oh, I'm in Sterling Heights, 18 and Mound. We're 10 miles away from 8 Mile. 313 is the Detroit area code. That's where 313 Tint came from. Ever thought about using a Sharpie? Yes, of course. Da, 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 da. I use Sharpies from time to time. Sharpies are great. Ooh, I got that. Holy shit. That was amazing. Is PPF a good skill to learn? I'm new to this. PPF is an amazing skill. Absolutely. Category is just growing. PPF has a very similar issue with vinyl wrapping, though. It's a bigger sale. And there's more of a... it's just got more difficulty to it. Your material cost is higher, your time is higher, customers are even more picky. It's a great skill to learn, makes good money. Just has a high level of like intricacy. Same thing with auto tint, except auto tint doesn't make as much money. But auto tint is faster turnaround. You can still have high tickets, not as high as PPF, especially color change PPF. I'll tell you though, everybody that looks into automotive businesses are completely missing flat glass. Flat glass is going to be better than all of them. Easier to do, high sales, not as much attention on it. It's not just like, oh, if I start flat glass tinting, I make $1 million immediately. It's still fucking work. But flat glass is extremely overlooked. Not as cool as working on cars. Not as fun going to people's houses. But the scale of work can just be enormously different. The story that I always bring up was, I was at an event, and like I can tell you a job that a former employee pulled in while he was here as well, that I just like, no, I didn't want to do it. It's gonna take me away from the shop for way too long. There's a commercial job that was the equivalent of 1,000 cars. And then you got to take a good hard look at your skill set and go, how long would it take me to tint 1,000 cars? How many individual customers would that be? How many months would that be? And so they had a crew of people, obviously, so they got it done in 3.5 weeks. But even with a crew of people, how long would it take, and how many customers, and how many appointments, and blah, 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 to make the equivalent volume of work, square footage in cars? So that commercial job was talking to one person. And just the scale of everything is so much bigger when you get into commercial flat glass. There was also a job a former employee got out of here. It was for a law firm bought a building that needed to be retinted. 30 and needed film to be removed as well, but that job is what, like $36,000 or something like that. Again, talking to one person. Crazy. Is there a way to get the bubbles out of the back window without having to replace? No, it's got to be replaced. Could be a number of reasons for it, but any bubbles that have been in the back window that have been there longer than 10 seconds, 10 minutes, needs to be redone. All right, so now we are moving on to the back window. Would it be better to start with cars and progress to residential? No, it'd be better to start with residential and then never touch cars. There's so much more, and this is a fucking automotive. We teach auto classes. Everybody's just like auto. And the reason why I still do cars is because I don't want to go to people's houses. I don't want to drive around. I like staying in my cave. I like having cars come to me. And I started with cars. So I went through that whole learning curve. If I was just looking to start a business, and somebody had waved flat glass in my face back then, I would have done flat glass. It's easier to hire people for flat glass. It's easier to train for. It's easier to grow a business. Again, it's not easy, but it's far easier than trying to do everything on $200, $300, $400 tint jobs. If you go to their house, maybe you can sit through dinner with them. You might even get a free dinner. But that's homes. There's also the architectural, like a commercial side of it that I was talking about too. Just like drive around. How many glass buildings do you see? Hotels, skyscrapers. Like, then there's so many industrial complexes and whatnot that just, there's a lot of glass on everything. Another business in the motor trade? I don't think it's a good idea to start most businesses in the motor trade. It's competitive. You have your unique skill sets, and I think those are tint, PPF, vinyl, detailing. And a lot of guys like it because it's car stuff and it seems cool, and then you live it for years and years, and then you just like, you get burnt out, you get tired of it, or you want a slower pace. What I really like about tinting overall is that the actual skill of it, once you really get it down, you still have your days that suck. But overall, it's not going to take me that long to tint a car. I can make good money doing it. And it gives me a lot of flexibility. Versus if I picked up a commercial gig, right? I either have somebody that's in charge of it and try and run the business that way, which personally I've just never been very good at delegating. But it's the simpler, like if I want to grow a big film business, flat glass is the way to go, for sure, hands down. How much do you pay for shop rent? $3,400 a month right now. Okay, so we're gonna coat this back window. I have a Snuggle dryer sheet. Just gonna sweep this off. Run over to the other side. Do the same thing. How much does it cost this in a small truck? Are you trying to make it less expensive because it's small? Big truck, little truck. Trucks are all pretty much the same unless you literally are taking doors off of it and making it like a standard cab versus a full cab. So what are we working with? What are we working with and what windows are we tinting? Yup, Snuggle dryer sheet. That's the magic that went on this back window. We're gonna dry this off. For anti-static? No, for the waxy shmoo that gets left behind. That's why we do it. Anti-statics for your laundry. I want that greasy wax smeared all over the back window. Like for real, you'll see. Yeah, this is C2 ceramic. Nobody will ever give prices. They give prices all the time. This whole car, end to end, $550. But it depends on the windows that you're doing. So an average truck, all around with the windshield, would be $550 in the same film. If it was a standard cab, which I just like don't ever hardly tint, it'd probably be $100 less. What's the difference between yours and regular tints? So we still have like a carbon film, or it's been a while, but I do have a dyed film in the cabinet. If ever, no, I just have leftovers. There we go. The difference is a ceramic layer in the film. Ceramic helps block additional heat. They still can. They both look really good. They both last for a long time. Biggest difference is always how much heat. That's really the only sheer performance factor. But also we just use nice films. So clarity is a big one. Longevity is a big one. Where's my card? There it is. All right. Charger back window. It's been a long time since I've had one of these. This back window, for a long time, was the hardest average back window. Not the hardest back window. And I would get so many of them. This is fairly straightforward. But a lot of new tinters would get these, and people had many, many questions about these for a very long time. You can get air pockets on the rear defrosters. Door seals are a little bit tighter. This is just kind of more bubbly glass. So we're gonna rough trim this out. That's pretty good. Let me get rid of these scraps. Now let me get set up here. Hey, it's right. Snuggles. Good shit. Those are the dryer sheets that I use. $85 IROC. Yeah, and blanket say this now, but anything like 95, like pre-2000, you just get into some special level of suck. Okay, so we're gonna set this one up for shrinking. We have our snuggle dryer sheet underneath. We're gonna pull this tight, flatten this out, and then these fingers on the side, oh my God, we're gonna just take those and just direct them up. Easy. That, push that down, lightly card that, go to the other side. We're gonna do the exact same thing. We're just gonna lift the film, let it float, which is the whole point of the dryer sheet. See how it doesn't really stick to it? It wiggles. We can pull it tight, and then when we tack it down, that's when it holds. That's the whole point. It's a light tack surface is all it is. It has nothing to do with anti-static. It just grabs the film when I want it to grab, and it allows the film to just float and hover until I actually press it and get it to stay in place. So it helps with organizing. So we got a lot to shrink here. This is more curved. We're gonna go at a more normal pace. I'm gonna hold the heat gun at a 45-degree angle, pointed in the direction that I'm shrinking, and I'm going to shrink until it shrinks down to where I get these little ocean waves. Once it turns into ocean waves, we push those into the shoreline. And then this has not been shrunk yet. So a lot of people, they'll take these and they'll just keep going. But we haven't done anything to that. So we need to shrink it, or else you're just gonna crease. Wipe out. So those bigger fingers, if I ever see an area that is kind of compressing and not wanting to just flatten out, you want to split it up. Pull on it if you can. You want to take away the high points. All these fingers have high and low spots, right? So the places that are high are almost a ½ inch to a full inch off the glass. There's a strong likelihood that you are going to burn them and get them to peak together and overheat it. So as you're shrinking, it's keeping your heat gun, which has a hot center here, and like not quite as hot. So doing little circles, just trying to keep this as even as possible. And then the heat gun's a lot closer since we're pretty low down. I'm just going to heat it up until everything kind of... See, these are still pointed upwards. We want to shrink them a little bit farther. So that muddy in-between where I can't quite see horizontal waves. And then I push it down. It might flatten out and look fine. When I install it on the inside of a glass like this, the defroster lines are really wide or thick. So what's going to happen is air is going to feed back in and cause one of those little spots to swell up. That's why so many people have issues with 300s, chargers, and they call them peanuts, or bananas. They pop up, little air pockets pop up along the defroster lines after you install it. It's because you force the film to go down a little early. But we have another trick for it too. Is it easy to make the jump to wrapping cars once you've mastered glass tint? No. No, two completely different skills. Handling film isn't really going to change much. Like, learning one automotive film skill will make you a more competent person in something else, sure. But I think it generally has to do with like your aptitude than like learning the thing. Because I'm shrinking tint. For vinyl, you're stretching it. So like there's a little crossover, but not much. Very different. I would never learn tinting. Like, too many people look at like, I'm going to learn window tint. I'm going to learn PPF. I'm going to learn vinyl. I'm going to do everything. Why? It's cool if you want to cross over, and I'll never like, there's genuinely like, I get it, like expanding your skill set. But at the end of the day, you can grow any one of them to be big enough to keep an individual busy. So the only reason to learn another skill is to broaden out your entire business and then have somebody else do that skill. But getting to like 80%, being able to like step in and help out and handle stuff, that's great. But the business where if I were to do window tint and PPF and vinyl, nothing's getting done. Yep, that classic phrase, jack of all trades, master of none. It's just, you can be a master of them all, but there's just not enough time. Both vinyl and PPF are super time consuming. You're better off focusing on one of them, getting really good, and being competent in something else, just so if your other guy leaves, you can still get the thing done. But then you gotta find somebody else. Okay, so this finger here, see how this is bigger? I want to just make it a little bit smaller. But often better than the master of one. Jack of all trades is better than the master of one. That's the whole saying. Is it really? Everybody just cut it short to like make a point. So when your boss says like, hey, you're a tinter, I need you to go wrap that car and learn that now. And then I need you to go. And then the guy was like, master of Jack of all trades, master of none. That's really what it is. That's funny. People will pay more for a better install? Not necessarily. Good enough for who it's for. You can put out a mediocre tint job for quite a lot of people, and they're not going to look at it very closely, and it's going to be great in their mind. But I'll tell you, it makes me feel better, though. It really comes down to the sales and the experience. Oh, you sent the outside. Why don't you watch the whole thing? Watch the whole thing next time. And then you'll be like, oh... Alright, this is almost done here. Alright, let's finish up this top. Almost done. See how much flatter that looks? If you actually take the time to let it settle and lay flat, it's gonna lay down better on the inside. But that's when you have like the thicker defrosters coming in. So I've seen many videos where the film is still kind of bunched up and they card it down. And there's a lot of little spots that I'm like, that's going to crease. And it doesn't. It's okay. But just because you get the film to lay down, doesn't mean that something can't pop up due to air running back in. And so that makes sense why so many people had issues, more so with chargers and anything with a thick defroster line. They're just a little different. All right, so we are trimming this out. I'm cutting on this white tape line here. Tintbot, can you link cut guard in chat, please? This is gonna help keep my knife off the glass. Ah, wrong product. Close. Rude. Rude is what I say. We need to train that new employee, don't we? Tintbot, can you link the cut guard in chat, please? Ah! It keeps doing panel guard. Tintbot, can you link Glass Aid cut guard in the chat, please? We gotta give it like a dunce cap or something. I spent way more time on trying to get that to work. It's done so many smart things, and I have no idea why it's hung up on that, but it'll get sorted. It's an iteration away, or 100, I'm not sure yet. Oh, nice. Okay, it's been clipping. That's scary. I get to look at those afterwards. Okay, now that that's trimmed out, I'm still going to touch up the top and the bottom. So after we shrink and cut it, see these little wobbles at the bottom? That was connected to an area that we shrunk. So I'm going to take the heat gun, I'm going to get real close, and I just want to flatten out that edge as much as possible. Like a dummy from Iron Man. It's like the little fireman bot. It's like, it tries. It'll get there. I want to give it a name other than Tintbot, but for now it's Tintbot. But we have TintBot doing a whole lot of stuff. It's going to see that and be like, what? We have it literally making clips. So I want to see right now. Oh, I shouldn't have even touched it. Like, it's so annoying. Those aren't new. Those are old. Oh. Okay. I should have deleted them. I think it's posting ones from the last stream. Fun. It's always something. All right, I'm going to clear some space. So for this back window, we're going to turn on the rear defrosters. But I'm going to get this set up right before I do that. I'm going to cover it up. Seat cover, throw something over the seats. I'm glad this one isn't the Hellcat. Hellcats would do something weird with the rear deck. This is flat. So, makes it a little bit easier for me. I'll take it. Yeah. Oh, this got wet. I need a new one. Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good, yourself?
Good.
You should have both. She doesn't have a text.
What the heck? This is such a weird case. There we go.
Was that a steering wheel lock
You
in the
caught
back
me.
seat? Waste of money.
Stealing
Anyone
from
that can
inventory.
start the car without the key can also remove that junk from the wheel.
A steering wheel lock. Yeah. I guess I don't even need that running. It is. Okay, there's those. And, ooh, no, we're gonna grab one of these. And we're gonna grab one of these. And for good measure, one of these. I'm going to check this first. I usually jump in here with the rear defrosters on already. I'm just going to take a minute longer on this one. So this is a Charger back window. And I've had a lot of questions about rear defrosters on these over the years. I like a clay bar personally. There's oxidation on the defrosters. That's what this black soot style stuff is that comes off. So just removing that is going to help the film stick better, take off little speckles. But there's one other trick that I'm going to do. Look at that. This is disgusting. and I'm gonna jump out of the car. I already put the seat forward, so it's gonna be a little uncomfortable. I'm gonna turn on the car, and then I'm gonna hit the rear defroster button.
When they asked
What
which
does the
Squiggy
towel
he
say?
wanted, brother
Young
said
but legal?
yes.
So that's gonna let the rear defrosters get nice and hot. This is the only car type I'm really gonna do this on. 300s, Chargers, Challengers, and Mustangs. I don't know why they made them with wider defrosters. They just did. But those defroster lines are gonna let air tunnel back in under the film, and any loose spots in your shrink are gonna swell up. So I turn that on, and I start cleaning the rear glass, and I just want to give the defrosters a little bit of time to get hot. So clay bar's one thing that I'll do. And defrosters is the other. Gel is another thing that actually might help a bunch now. 'Cause the nice thing about the gels is they're thick, and they'll hang out on the edges and prevent the tint from just lifting back up. So it's not gonna hurt on all your dotted areas, the sides. It's not gonna prevent dots from silvering, but it might hold it down better. There we go. And also, for good measure, why just stop there? Whoa, making this whole shop resonate. Crazy. I'm not gonna reverse roll this one. I'm just gonna peel it, lift it, and stick it. I got my keg right here. Hang on.
Just subbed.
So I'll make sure this is coated. That's gonna help it slide. Remember, defrosters are warm. So any extra slide we can get, the better. I lift it off, I catch it. I got this very nice brake light cutout that helps
Cut guard.
me get my fingertips towards the end. I'm gonna carry this into the car, and turn around, flatten it out, and go over the headrest, down the window as far as you can reach. Then we need to get that film nice and flat on the window. And then we can always lift extra film as we gradually just take it down the window. See that? See how that's just hanging there? It's very non-stressful once you get past that first hurdle. Then the rest will go up. Make sure all your gaps are covered. Then we're going to use a wide brush. We have some bigger air pockets on this. The glass is pretty curvy. So we can just start scooching all this out. Alright. I'm not concerned with this area here. I want to take care of the defrosters first. I'm going to push nice and hard on the defroster lines. And go with them. And only if I can't hardly reach.
It's over.
Still down here.
Scooching over.
Right? I don't want to sweep across them too much. Couple in the beginning's not going to hurt it.
Remark.
But then if it lets air back in, you're going to have some issues. You're going to start smearing air all over the back window. It's going to look like shit. There we go. I'm going to take a tail fin. This is nice and tight at the bottom. Sweep that. See how that wedge is in there? Voila! Now for the upper part, this is an antenna area. This isn't getting hot like the rest of the glass. Don't worry, I got seat covers. None of this is getting on the seats. Okay, that is installed. I'm going to scrub off the outside, check it over, and then we're going to see what we're dealing with. My headphone! Did it link cut guard? You know what? That's funny.
Picasso, I like it.
I've got two systems on this that I'll explain in a little bit. Alright, let's scrub this off. So, defrosters are hot. So what I want to make sure
That would drive me
is
nuts.
if there's anything on the defroster lines, that's all laid flat.
Could I have major patience? Now it linked to the clay bar.
Right? Like if there's an air pocket somewhere in the middle, I want to make sure I brush that out as quick as possible. That's good. That's what we want to see. Let me check the inside here.
Nice.
That's really nice. All our defroster lines are not popping
Where are you
up.
guys located?
They look nice and cleaned,
My name is Jeff.
and they're laying flat. Super good. All right, I'm gonna take car, turn it off.
Looks great. It's definitely so easy for my car to get new tint.
Do I have my little thing over here? Oh, I do. Hang on. Ooh, look at that. See that? See that back window is toasty? And then up this top area, there's no heat there, so just all the heating elements are on. This is probably like the only useful thing that I've been able to show people with this. Ha, that's really cool. Cool. Very cool. Literally. Hot, literally. Okay, so now we can clean off the inside, make sure it's all wiped down, and we got one more window to do. That's going to be the full windshield.
What is that you're using for heat signature? About to put in my first order with you guys. Will be my first time using Geo. What kind of IR camera piece was that?
What kind of IR camera was that? It's this one. You can screenshot it. I'm honestly
Why is the
not
bot
sure.
reading the How dark is
comments.
that?
That was a TikTok shop buy. It just like popped up in my feed one day. And I was like, yes, that looks cool as shit. And then I used it and I was like, that is cool as shit. And then I haven't really used it since, which is kind of a problem.
How did you start your shop? Your audio went away. We can't hear you anymore. Ha ha ha, awesome, thank you. And thank you for all of the videos and help you provide. I've learned a lot and referred many texts to your content to learn.
Hello? Hello?
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck? If a wood could chuck wood,
Is my audio just like majorly
I is
like
gone too
majorly
far.
fucked up right now? Or is it okay? Or is it okay?
audio is gone. Yes, it's echoing.
It's echoing.
The bot
Maybe
has
it's
taken
better
over.
now? Maybe it's better now?
Can hear you now.
Or is it still echoing? Or is it still Oh. There we go. No, that's not right. It's doubling. Oh no! I don't think it's fixed. No, it's not fixed. I'll be back.